Hello everyone and welcome to our 9 Python video. So I hope you all are doing well, and today we're going to be looking at two topics. The first topic is the input function and the second topic is going to be if else. So both of these are very important concepts in Python. Let's start off with input first. So what is an input? Input is basically taking something from the user. So now, for example, you type something on Google, right? Google takes the information, processes it, and gives you the output. So input is basically taking something from the user. Now let's see how to use inputs in Python. So what we have to do is very simple. The input function works as follows. So first you need a variable. We can name the variable anything, but because we're taking the input from the user, let me just name it user. Okay, so user, and we have to take the input, so we'll be using the input function. Now if, and let's just print of user also, so that we can know the value. And now if I run this, you can see a box comes here that basically tells you to enter the input. So we can give the input as anything. So let's give us 45. And you can see that 45 gets printed two times, because once you enter the number in input function, it prints it. And again, we are printing it. So if I remove this and try it again, you can see the box comes and I can enter whatever I want. I can enter a string also. So I can enter blah, blah, blah. So you can see it gets printed here. So, okay, now let's find out the type, because all of this, what we're doing is coming in the string, like whatever the input, right, comes in the string format. But what if we want an int format? What if we want to add two numbers? Take the input of two numbers and then adding them. We need an int input, right? But then how do we get that? So for first proving that this is a string input, let's use the type function that we learned in the previous video. So if we run this and we enter, let's say we enter 23, you can see it says class str. That basically means that it's a string that we enter. So if you want an int input or an integer input, what you have to do is very simple. Here before input, you just have to do int, and you have to enclose the input function inside a int. So int bracket, and inside the bracket you need to put the input function. Okay, now if I run this and then enter a number 12, now you can see it says class int. It's integer now. In the same way, if you want a decimal or a float, instead of the int here, you have to put float. It's very simple. So here float, and then if I run this, enter 2.43 or something. Here it says class float. That means now it's a decimal. So it's very easy. Now let's do a simple program with this. Let's find the input for two numbers. But for that, we have to print the, what is that? Enter the first number and then you should give the input. Enter the second number and you should give the input. So let's say print, enter the first number. Okay. So let them enter the first number, and then let's call the first variable a input. Remember int input, because we need the integer format, we have to add them. So int input, then b is equal to int input. So here we have to say enter the second number. This is just for reference, okay, so that the user knows what they're doing. So enter the second number, and then if I run this, oh, what's happening? The box is coming here, and then enter the first number is coming down. So if you want the our text to come in the same line as the box, that is, it'll come here only in the same line, enter the first number, and then the box will come. If you want to do that, very simply just take this, okay, remove this line here, print, and just put it here. You'll find a difference. If you didn't understand, you'll find a difference now. Enter the first number. You'll find a difference now. If I run this, you can see come enter the first number doesn't come below, but it comes, in the same line as the box. So this is more easier. So enter the first number. And here also what we'll do, we'll take this and then we'll just put it here. Easy, cut and paste. So here, we'll just leave a space. We'll remove this. So now it's more easier to understand and it's better. So let's just run this. And now it says enter the first number. So let's enter 23. Enter the second number, enter 12. You can see that. Now what we're going to do is we are going to add the two numbers. So let's make a variable C and let's do A plus B. Easy. And then let's just print C. So you can add them and then print it. So if I run this, enter the first number, let's enter 45. Enter the second number, let's enter 23. And then you can see the answer is 68, which is correct. 45 plus 23 is 68. We can give anything, it'll run the same. We can give 23, 89, anything, 112, all is the same. So now we got to know how to take the input of an integer, float, etc. So now let's move on to the next topic, which is if else. So coming to if else, it's very simple to understand. The thing is if and else. So there'll be a condition in the if statement. If the condition in the if statement is true, there'll be a set of statements written below the if statement. Those statements will be executed. If the condition in if is false, then the else statements will get executed and the if statements will not get executed. For simple understanding, see this image. So basically, the condition will go here, and if the condition is false, it'll just go to the else code. But if the condition is true, they'll go to the if code. It's very simple. It's just like that. But how do you know if a condition is true or false? Now let's take a condition. Is 4 equal to 5? 4 is not equal to 5, right? So if you want to compare two numbers or two objects, what we have to do is, instead of doing 4 equal to 5, we have to do a double equal to. In this case, we are not assigning anything. We are just comparing. Is 4 equal to 5? Is that true or false? 4 is not equal to 5, so that should be false. So you can see it says false. But is 5 equal to 5? Check this out. 5 is equal to 5, right? So it'll print true. The same thing. Now that is for checking if a number is equal to. But what if you want to check if two numbers are not equal to each other? So in this case, we'll be using exclamation equal to, which basically represents non-equal to. So now if I do 5, is 5 not equal to 5? No, right? 5 is equal to 5. So this will print false, right? So it prints false, absolutely correct. But now if I put 6 here, is 6 not equal to 5? Correct, right? 6 is not equal to 5. So now it'll print true. So like that, we have to implement this in the if and else statements. One more thing I want to show is greater. So is 4 greater than 8? Is 4 greater than 8? No, right? So it's a print false. Now if I do the opposite like this, and if I say is 8 greater than 4? Obviously, right? So it prints true here. That is the basic understanding of greater, the comparison operators. Now if else, how do we implement this in if else? So the syntax is on the screen. If the condition, so let's say 4 not equal to 5, this is true. So then what we have to do is you have to put a colon, and then if we press enter, you can see it leaves some spaces before writing the if statements. It leaves one tab space. So one tab space in it can be different in different IDEs, but here I think it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 spaces. So if you leave a tab space and then write your code, that will belong to the if statement. So these are statements for if, okay? But then if I write here else, 1 minute. Okay, so here if statements will be written with one tab space after if, else statements will be written after one tab space for else. So this is how Python recognizes which statements belong for if and which statements belong for else. Now let's say that if the condition is true in if, let's say here for okay, let's just say condition is true. But here, if the condition is false, let's just print condition is false. You can have multiple statements inside the if and else, doesn't matter. Now if we run this, wait, let's predict the output. Is the condition given is 4 not equal to 5. 4 is not equal to 5. So it'll print condition is true. So here condition is true. But now if I give 5 not equal to 5, 5 is equal to 5. So the condition is false. So I'll directly come to the else statement and print the condition is false. So basic understanding of if and else. So now some people leave the if or the else empty. Now, if we leave this empty, it'll show an error. So let me just leave this empty and now let me run this. You can see it gives some error. But then what if we want to leave it empty? That'll be used in future programs. But to understand how to leave it empty, you just have to write pass here like this. That's all. You should only write this if you want to leave it empty. Okay, so now if I run this, you can see nothing prints because I have written nothing inside the else statement. So this is how to leave an else or an if statement empty. You can also write an if inside an if, but always remember that an else statement is not required for an if. So if I remove this and then if I run, nothing's going to happen, nothing's going to change. So if I make this condition true, you can see it says condition is true. See, that is the thing. You always don't need an else for an if, but for an else you need an if. You can't just write here. You can't write else. You always need an if. You see invalid syntax. Okay. So yeah, I hope you actually understood if and else. It's very easy to understand. The topic is very important because in future videos you're going to be using it a lot. So before leaving, we are going to be writing a small program. We're going to take an input from the user and we're going to check if the number is 7. So how do we do that? Let's take the number as a, and obviously we want an integer input. So input here, and then we say enter the number. If you didn't understand input, go rewind the video and watch it. And now we have to check if it's a is equal to 7. So if a is equal to 7, print, and we can print, what can we print? A is equal to 7. Let's just print a is equal to 7. But then if it's not equal to 7, we just have to put an else statement here. Not here, here. Else print a is not equal to 7. Easy, right? We are checking if a is equal to 7 here. Now if we run this, it says enter the number. First let's enter 7. Here it says a is equal to 7 because yeah, correct, right? Now let's run this and now let's enter something like 2. Now it says a is not equal to 7. Obviously 2 is not equal to 7. So that is if and else. So I hope you learned something from this video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you can stay updated on future videos. So thank you for watching again. Bye.